Hey guys, it's Glenn from Glenn'sCarCollection.com, and we're driving another C8 Corvette. And this is a 2LT. And how you know it's a 2LT? Well, we're going to go over that in a second. Love the C8 Corvettes. I've owned 3 Corvettes, the last one being a C5 Z06. Always great value for money. And you know what? My favorite are mid-engine cars. And I just really love it that it's become mid-engine. So let's go over the key here first. We have the lock-on-lock button. Now, because it's mid-engine, we have a front trunk, which you call a frunk. All right, well, let's look at the engine first. And here we have a naturally aspirated V8 engine. You can take the roof panel off. How do we know it is a coupe and not a convertible? Well, the easiest way to know is when this is closed, we can see the engine. And we just take this roof panel off. It's hard to tell sometime if you really didn't know, but this panel comes off and then goes into the trunk. Again, we press the button twice, and that roof panel would go right here. Chevy says you could put 2 sets of golf clubs. Love that engine. We can almost touch it. Oh, you can feel the heat of it. I just love that the engine is right behind us. Awesome. All right, and let's see. I don't know if I could get in. There we go. Just got to hold it down. So now you have a front trunk, almost like a Porsche. It is very small. No, you know what? It's bigger than I thought. My 911, I can actually fit my hockey bag in there if I take out a couple things, like my skates, which are huge because I have big feet, and my helmet, but I could press the bag in. So this is probably a little longer from the top, but it's really not that usable, but you could probably fit, you know, an overnight bag in there, a carry-on bag probably. All right, so let me show you some other things. So here the engine breathes, obviously. That's where it's getting its air. You actually open the door. There's actually like a handle underneath here that you press. By getting a 2LT, now you can get upgraded stuff. You can get the upgraded stereo, I believe. You can get upgraded interior. It doesn't have to be black. Upgraded seats, the rear view camera. So you can get a lot of cool things. With that 2LT package is like $78,000, I remember correctly. We can hear that naturally aspirated V8 purr. Special thanks to DCH, Montclair, Acura, and Verona, New Jersey for providing the car. Now, it's not a Z51. Z51 would have a bigger wing back here, and I think there's 2 wings, a high wing and a low wing, and I believe we also would get cross-drilled rotors, which we don't have here. So this is just the 2LT. But you got the Pilot Sports all-season tires. I love Michelin tires. I think they're the best because they handle rain well. Good looking car. It's kind of like, I don't know how well it's going to come out in camera, but it's like a pewtery color. It's a good looking car. I think so, with the black mirrors. So let's get in and take it for a drive. We got heads-up display. We already got the car running. So we've done quite a few of these. So it was telling me that the key was missing. Otherwise, somehow the music was on. All right, so again, 2LT, we could get different colors now. Instead of black, we can get a red. Now, when you look at the pictures online, what you don't notice about this car is how small these buttons actually are. We have cooled seats, heated seats. We can sync our auto climate control, HVAC buttons here, and again, for the passenger. So we can do whatever climate, whatever temperature we want. Very good. So the mirror shows you, you know, the visibility isn't going to be the greatest from the rear. Again, if you take this roof panel off, the mirrors actually show good views. You can easily see around this A-pillar here. To adjust our mirrors, just like any other car, press it and we can do the adjustments, the right side, the left side. We got our memory seat buttons here. We got the Bose stereo, which actually sounds pretty good. To get out of here, we press the button here. So if you weren't sure, just like I think this started in the C6 if I remember correctly, press the button and that will unlock the door. You also have lock and unlock buttons, and you have trunk, I guess rear trunk, which you have, and front trunk, both at the touch of a button. So to go into reverse now, you can take off your traction control and everything here. You have your mouse control to go through the menus and sub-menus. You can press the home button. This is the on and off button, so these are radio controls. You do have Apple CarPlay, a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can do other menus like HVAC. You can do your navigation control here. You can even do settings on the car. Whoops, we can't do the music here because then we can't monetize the video. So a lot of cool settings that we could play around with. And so to go into reverse, you actually pull this button up, and that'll give you a good backup camera here. And then you can play with the different views. So say you have a low curb, it tells you where you are. Here's the front of the car if you were approaching a curb. Then you're neutral, and then you can go into drive. Now we're into drive, we got the D control there. And remember, paddles, no shifters here. So to drive in manual mode, we have to press manual. All right, so let's take it for a spin. I feel like something is not closed, and I think it's I feel like it's the engine. All right, we'll put it in park. There we go. All right, now we're gonna make some tracks here. All right. Driving in manual mode. Now the dual clutch is really good. I didn't have, you also could get the performance where you could do your lap time. I didn't have high hopes for the dual clutch, but I could tell you the dual clutch in this car is really, really good. Handling on this car is great. You have a heads-up display. I don't think the angle with the GoPro is going to be correct with the angle on here. And Corvettes, you just get so much for the money. I had two C4 Corvettes, a 94 Polo Green on tan, a 95, that's my camera bag that's rattling, not the car, a 95 Admiral Blue, which became the Grand Sport color in 96 with the white stripes. I think we can go red on red here. Yes, we can. Visibility is pretty good. Visibility isn't that great. Obviously looking back in the rearview mirror, but that's to be expected in a mid-engine car. My Lotus would only show me the supercharger. So at least here you can see something, but you have the camera, which is very, very good. 2LT opens up some other options as far as front nose lift, which we haven't had any problems. I'm not sure if this one has it, but that's obviously, of course, that's a useful option. The Corvette is very fast with a great 0 to 60 time, but it really handles now too, being mid-engine. The Z06, we've done a Z06 convertible, C7, we've done one Z51 C7s, and I love them, and they're a beast. They're way more raw. This is more refined. This can easily, not that the other ones weren't, but this could easily be a daily driver. Now you just saw how composed and flat it was in those turns. All right, so let's go through those twisty turns again. I mean, to me, especially being a mid-engine car now, the C8 Corvette is all about the turns and taking the long way home. Where before, they were more of a straight line car, but you know, more in the turns than say the Camaros or the Mustangs. I grew up on American cars, Camaro Z28s, Mustang GTs. When I got old enough, I could afford some used C4 Corvettes. That's what I drove around with in my 20s. And you know, the handling started getting better and better. And I just love that this car went mid-engine. Now, of course, there's always going to be a front-wheel drive Honda in front of you slowing you down. But this is really, I never get tired of driving a C8 Corvette. So much performance for the money. You know, why do these cars sell for 100 grand? Because they're that good. Now again, with the 2LT package, you definitely don't, you're not stuck with the black interior. You could choose different colors, better seats. You can get the rear view camera. So there's a lot of cool options. Rear view camera, I'm sorry, in the rear view mirror. And there's a lot of cool options you just can't access with the 1LT. Complaints, obviously, it's such a good car, you got to pay through the nose to get one. And I would like it to rev a little higher. I think the max red line, once it's broken in, is only like 6,500. The Z06 is going to fix that, but obviously at a much higher and much more raw car. That's my Jersey accent. All right, guys, so I love driving the C8s. I highly recommend them. Check them out. Special thanks to DCH Acura in Verona, New Jersey. They have hundreds of new and used Acuras, but more importantly, they have what I call Glen cars. They have at least 80 enthusiast cars on hands, everything from C8 Corvettes to Porsche 992s to Lamborghinis, McLarens, Ferraris, you name it, they have it. So thanks again for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.